Hi everyone, welcome to another Employability Live. My name is Sam, I'm the founder of Turnheads, and I'm joined again by Wendy, the founder of Skills Mention. We join forces every Wednesday to discuss employability skills in the creative industry. By doing this, we hope to inspire and help emerging creatives trying to find their first jobs or clients in the creative industries. Today, we're joined by Oliver Jones, a freelance graphic designer turned life coach who helps people live a more authentic life by finding purpose, balance, and happiness in what they do. Welcome, Oliver. Thanks for being here.
Thanks so much. Thanks for inviting me, Sam and Wendy. It's I think it's the second time I've been on with your live, and yeah, it's great what you're doing. It's amazing.
Thank you. So I guess if you could maybe give us another recap as to what your own journey has been so far, and kind of what you now offer in terms of your one-to-one coaching to help people live a more authentic life.
Yeah, sure. I've been in the design industry for about 21 years, and yeah, I was full-time for a while, and then I went freelance pretty quickly when I was turning a middleweight designer, just through encouragement from a great boss that I had at the time. And yeah, pretty much went freelance since then. And but I always had an inkling of I'm enjoying this. However, it's not giving me fulfillment. It's not what's my purpose. And I had mental health issues at university and stuff like that, with depression and panic attacks and things. So that was always going on, and I would always like a good actor, and pretending I was all right and just going through emotions. And yeah, it's the weekend again, but it never felt quite right for me. It never felt authentic. It never felt me, really. And I didn't know what else I could do. And friends would always suggest stuff, but I wasn't in the zone to sort of look that deeply. And it's not until I had therapy myself, ended up being about 7.5 years, that I actually quite enjoyed going deeper and looking at the root cause of issues and stuff. And then it dawned on me. I was at an event, coaching event, where I was given the mic. I think I might have mentioned on the last one. And I was asked to coach someone at the front. I was kind of like, So I just was asking the person at the front what I was thinking the coach should do anyway. And it turned out to be a really powerful interaction. And she had a breakthrough and started crying. And I was like, I'm really sorry. And she went, no, I haven't cried for years. Like, I really needed this. And it suddenly dawned on me that throughout my life, people, even at design agencies, funny enough, especially in the pub after work, people would always open up to me and be like, I don't know why I'm telling you this, but blah, 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 blah. And then they would almost answer their own questions, which is kind of what coaching is. Like, coaches, we guide. We don't bring our content. We like to guide their content coming in. And I've been doing that all my life. And I was like, you know what, I quite enjoy this. And then the penny dropped that after that event where I was coaching someone, I got given the mic, that I could be a life coach myself. And I just started researching, and I trained with someone called Mindful Talent, who are absolutely lovely, and look at a more spiritual side of things as well, and doing like a nice sort of meditation breathing technique before the session starts, so the client hasn't got a to-do list in their head. They're like, oh right, well, what should I focus on? And they're very clear and calm. That's just one thing that they teach, and it was a great experience. And I did that over through Zoom. It was online through the first lockdown, so it was such a godsend that came across, because I was able to concentrate on that and things. And I've just grown since then. And yeah, it's taken me a while to get my website sorted, purely because of my design background, like we were discussing earlier. And just, I want it to look great. What about my branding? And just putting it off. But also on a deeper level, I was afraid of being seen, which is another topic. But yeah, I just got myself out of the way recently and launched my website and got talking to you guys. So
yeah. No, fantastic. And it's it is one of the pitfalls of being a creative, isn't it? You're kind of become that annoying perfectionist that just ends up getting absolutely nothing done. But yeah, no, that's really interesting as well. And I think it's really nice that you do that kind of you know, that meditation element and that just really calm environment in what is often a very hectic workspace, isn't it, within the design industry, when you're working to really tight deadlines, really fast-paced turnaround, lots of pressure. So yeah, it's great that you're providing that space, that calmness, where people can just kind of take a step back and really think about what is going on and in their lives and what they want. But yeah, I thought I'd hand over to Wendy at this point, because you have a lot of interesting conversations with career switchers, don't you? More kind of, you know, I guess they're a couple of years into their jobs, something's not quite right, and they're kind of, you know, just getting around to, I guess, thinking about that a little bit more. So do you want to maybe explain a bit of that and see if Oliver can give some advice on some elements?
Yeah, no, thanks, Sam. Yeah, Oliver, I mean, what you're doing, I think, touches a lot of people's areas of careers, because a career is something that you carry throughout your whole life. And the people I've seen who come through to, you know, to sort of get guidance on how to move to their next role normally would have either spent 2 years or a bit more in a particular job. They're now finding that, actually, am I in the right place? Am I doing what I truly am interested in? Do I love this? Or maybe they're just finding it really difficult to navigate that particular career to the point where it's to the detriment of their mental health. So, you know, as much as we would like to say, oh, you know, get to this job and everything will be fine, but the person themselves needs that support or needs to deal with underlying issues. For example, some people lose a lot of their self-belief in themselves when they go into a job that's not right for them, or they're finding that it's difficult for them to get that job satisfaction. I mean, what sort of advice, or how would you deal with someone who comes to you wanting to change a career, but they are feeling that within themselves they've either lost their self-confidence, or they're not even sure whether they're worthy of looking anywhere else? How would you get down to the root causes of something like that?
Wow, yeah. You could go quite deep with that, depending on. I always ask my clients, is it okay to go a bit deeper and you know, look at what's going on? Things like self-confidence. I mean, it could be due to trauma, childhood trauma, anything like that, stuff that we don't quite remember. It could be, you know, you come out of the school gates when you're little and your parents haven't turned up yet, and you feel that kind of, oh, you know, I'm here on my own, and I'm the last person here, and all my friends have gone home, and you feel a bit kind of, oh, my parents have forgotten, or something like that. And there's different things like that I believe that we store in our subconscious, our body, and stuff like that, and that can slowly eat away at self-confidence and love issues and all sorts. So it's really the tip of the iceberg. But what is really powerful, what you're saying, is people are noticing the red flags, and it's really wonderful, actually, because then they start asking questions. I always think it's dangerous if people are not asking those questions. So it's really good to have that realization that, okay, I'm not satisfied here and my mental health is suffering. This isn't for me. So that's a big red flag, saying, okay, well, what is it that I want to do? And then I start asking my clients about, well, what would light you up? Like, if money wasn't an issue, because I've experienced it myself, I'm like, well, I can't leave this job because I need money coming in. And what do I do? Like, I can't be just out there and not working. And it is scary, right? Because we need to pay the bills and like to save and stuff like that. So if money was, you know, taken off the table, it's probably cliche to ask, but it is really powerful. What would you love to do? What would get you out of bed in the morning? What wouldn't you mind doing at the weekend because you enjoy it so much? You know, I sometimes have coaching sessions on a Saturday because I enjoy it still. You know, it doesn't feel like, oh, it's a Monday to Friday thing. So, and everybody's individual, right? So it's kind of like reassuring my clients, it's okay to want to, I don't know, open a vineyard. Like, why not? It's okay to, you love knitting and you want to do something with that. I mean, everybody's different. You go into nature and there's so much diversity that, yeah, I've kind of gone off on one there, but yeah, everybody's individual. Everybody's got different passions and ways of seeing how they want their life to be. And we suppress that a lot with, yeah, just doing the 9-to-5 job that we feel that we should do. So follow your heart, follow your passions, your intuitions, and journal. And yeah, I could go on, but yeah, it's finding that fire inside. You know, enough's enough. I want to sort my life out. I want to do what I enjoy doing, and I don't know quite what that is. I mean, it took me 40-something years to find out that actually I really enjoy talking with people and helping people, and I could be a coach. Like, I didn't know I could do that until the penny dropped. So it can happen at any time, at any age.
Yeah, careers are not linear anymore, aren't they? You know, it's all about testing and trialing different routes.
Yeah, and yeah, as was spoke a little bit earlier as well, that you can do 5, 6, 7, 8 things and call that your job. I mean, I've written some children's books and they're very basic at the moment, but I'm gonna get better at them and rewrite them and sort of submit them to companies and publishers and stuff and see what happens. So yeah, it's so good to fail, because it's like, okay, how can I fail better next time? What can I learn from this? You know, and that's how everybody gets better.
Yeah, that must be quite a big thing, isn't it? Because it's like the whole rejection thing as well, isn't it? You know, you're trying to get out of that rut that you're stuck in, and you're applying for different jobs or to try and get into different things, and it's kind of that having that realization is not just going to happen overnight as well, and you've got to it's something you've got to continuously work at, and you know, you are going to take knocks in confidence, but you've just got to keep pulling yourself back up, think of the bigger picture, and keep going.
Yeah, totally. It reminds me of that. I like the Christopher Nolan Batman films. There's a quote in there of Alfred says to Bruce Wayne, "Why do we fall?" So we can learn to pick ourselves up. And that just quotes like that. You know, you get through watching films or seeing something on Pinterest, it kind of lights your fire inside you. Like, that's really nice, really powerful.
Yeah, so, it builds who you are, doesn't it?
Yeah. Totally.
Yeah. Fab. So could you maybe finish off by letting us know your kind of top tips, I guess, for living a more authentic life?
As we touched base with Wendy, is that looking at those red flags, noticing that's very powerful, and it's like, okay, what can I do about that? And just in the morning, it's very important to kind of check in with yourself and be like, does this feel good where I'm going into work now? Does this feel good? Does this feel aligned with who I am right now? You know, it might do. And if it isn't, it's like, well, journaling is very powerful on the subject of what would I like to do, you know, and you can write down, almost do an audit on your life of, this is currently what I'm creating in my life. I'm working 9 to 5 here, whatever, and I kind of enjoy it, but it's not really fulfilling me. Why not? Blah, blah, blah. And then doing the complete opposite of how would I want my life to be? What could it be if I could choose anything? In actual fact, I can choose anything. Why am I giving myself all these boundaries? You can do anything that you want to do. Cheesy, I know, but it's so true. And we can go and live and work anywhere in the world, especially doing, something that I do, I could do anywhere in the world once the world opens up a bit more. And you can go traveling and stuff and just work anywhere, and just, you know, what lights you up? What would you love to do? What would get you out of bed? And as I said earlier, what would you love to do on a Saturday? I'm a big believer in having Sunday to rejuvenate, no matter what you do, just so you're recharged for what you're doing on the Monday type thing. But yeah, just journal, have discussions with friends, family, people that are willing to kind of, that you feel trustworthy to open up to, and dig deep and do some brainstorming. And it may not happen overnight, like you were saying. You know, it's practice. It's like going to the gym. If you want to get fit and you go to the gym once, it's not going to work. But if you go to the gym 2-3 times a week, you know, you're going to get fit and core strength and get the results that you want. So keep on persisting, and you'll get there. And you'll start. It's funny. You'll start attracting people in your life that want to have these conversations. It will just start happening and start flowing more. And then someone might say, "What have you thought about this?" And you're like, "Well, no." Like happened to me, like coaching. I just got given the mic, like landed in my lap. I haven't thought about that, but actually, why not? You know. So.
Yeah, that's great. Thank you. And I think, I'm a big believer in visualization as well. Once you've written it down and you've almost like, put it on the wall in front of you, and it's that kind of accountability, isn't it? And to just keep that in mind with everything you do is really
it's
important.
kind of like that target, and it's very powerful. It's what we do in design, isn't it? Like do a mood board. And although clients may not get it, it gives us, it's more for us, the designers, isn't it? To go, okay, the client really likes this mood board. Let's take these elements and then put it in the mixer, see what happens. It's just like that.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, fantastic. Thank you so much, Oliver. And do you want to let everyone know where they can get in touch with you and find out a bit more about your coaching sessions as well?
Yeah, so my website is oliverwilliamjones.com. My whole name, or one word. And a lot of my kind of ethos and the way I approach coaching and things like that, and background of who I am and things like that, and some of my life stories on there, and contact details. And there's like a little button you can press where you can go through a little questionnaire. So by the time people fill that out, I know where they are when I speak to them. So it can speed up the process and things. And it can really, as well, it can have people kind of go, okay, that's quite a deep question. Like, I need to think about this. So it might take them a day or two to come up with an answer for one of the questions, because I like to go to the root cause of, okay, what's going on, instead of everything's fine, it'll be fine. You know what I mean? So
yeah. And I guess you get more out of the sessions that way as well, don't you?
Yeah, totally. I mean, there's no point not looking at the root causes of stuff. And I just think it's a wonderful process. So oliverwilliamjones.com. So thank you so much for having me, guys.
You're welcome. And we've got the website and everything in the links below as well. So definitely check that out. And thank you so much for joining us for another Employability Live. We will see you next week.
Yeah, thanks for inviting me again. Thanks.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.